Hi, I'm Lewis, also known as Skeffles, and welcome to my 16th devlog for my tower defense game, Project Torrim. This is a particularly special devlog because after over 7 weeks working on the level editor, I'm finally back to working on the game itself. This week I'm planning on getting the integration with the level editor complete and getting back to work on the tasks from the Trello board. So let's get cracking, coding the integration with the level editor. There we go. It's taken a couple of days to get to this point, but I finally managed to load the level I made last week into the game. Getting the level to load into the game was a similar process to loading a level file in the editor, only without loading the editing grid and actually creating instances of prefab classes. To do this, I began by just loading sprites for the level objects. This was a great start and gave me a pretty good overview of the level without the background. I then moved on to loading sprites from the grid. This was a similar process as loading the level objects, however I needed to skip over blank grid tiles. With this in place, the level looked almost exactly as it did in the editor, which was fantastic progress. I then needed to create instances of the prefab classes. To do this, I used the activator createInstance function, and made sure that my classes shared a common set of parameters in their constructors. This worked fantastically, however I would like the ability to provide more data to the instances I create. For example, the fortress could take in health, however that's not something in scope for the game or the level editor right now. This essentially brings the game to the exact same point it was in Devlog 8. However, in Devlog 8, the level was created manually, so expanding the level or creating a new level would have taken a long time. Now, with the level editor, I can create new levels and edit existing ones with ease. With the level editor integration complete, I took a look at my Trello board to work out what I needed to work on next. I had originally put in a lot of level related tasks, however since creating the level editor, a lot were unnecessary. So I got rid of those tasks and pushed the remaining level work back because they are now a lower priority. At this point, the next task I need to work on is enemy spawning. Currently the enemy spawner spawns a random enemy every second. This was good when working on the game's proof of concept, but needs to be developed further now. I want this game to have at least an hour of gameplay, and the spawning mechanics are a crucial part of that. I'm going to start off by creating enemy waves, and then see if I can begin a tier system like I had in my GMT Game Jam game. Let's get to it. I've been working on this for a little while, and I have both some good news and bad news about my enemy waves. The good news is that I've managed to get some really good progress. Waves are made up of a selection of enemies that must be killed, and support enemies which will keep on spawning until the main enemies have been killed. So here I have 4 bison enemies that spawn, and yaks that support them. The bad news is that the method I'm using to move onto the next wave has uncovered quite a big issue with the base game object. Namely, that when a game object is disposed of, its parent object will still keep a reference to it, meaning that disposal doesn't properly work, and this count will never be 0. This was something I noticed in the GMT Game Jam, and tried to fix. However, I did not move the change into the main code branch because I disliked my implementation, There were a lot of bugs with it, and it took a long time to do. I wasn't even sure if I needed it, but now I know I need it. Luckily, I have a rough idea of how I can improve over what I did in the game jam. However, it will take some time to do, and is most likely going to introduce the bugs I noticed in the jam. Only this time I can't use cheap and easy hacks to get around them. So to finish off this week, I'm going to spend some time working on this fix. Wish me luck. Time is well and truly up for this week. I spent the last day adding a reference to parent object to every single game object. This involved making sure every constructor could take in a parent object, and if I'm honest, it doesn't look like it's completely broken everything. You can see here my enemies spawning, and I can even buy a tower. However, this is where it starts to fall apart. It seems I can no longer click inside the tower management menu, drag the towers about, or even drag the camera around. I highly suspect this is the same issue I saw in the GMT game jam, where click events were happening twice. I suspect this because a second ago when I spawned my tower, 2 towers actually spawned. This bug is a severely game-breaking issue, and one I really want to get fixed. As soon as I can start again next week, I will be trying my hardest to get it sorted. Don't miss out on my next devlog covering that. Make sure you get notified by subscribing to my YouTube channel and clicking the bell button. Thank you for watching this devlog for Project Torrim. I'm having a blast recording my progress on the game, and I hope you're enjoying watching. Leave the video a like to let me know you are, and comment to give me any feedback. Thank you, and goodbye.